Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Calypso Showcase. Tonight, we take a look at the musical life of Boogsie Sharpe, a panist extraordinaire. Where did the Boogsie come from?
Boogsie? That was a nickname that was given to me by my mother, you know. So she called me that, or my family called me Boogsie, you know.
You kept it?
Yeah.
When I think of you as a panist, a composer, and an arranger. But where did the attraction to the instrument pan come from? How early can you remember yourself being attracted to pan?
Well, I can remember, I say maybe I was about 5, 6 years of age, you know. And I was told it was before that, but I could remember from that time being a little fella playing pan, because the yard I born in, this yard here, we had a steel band named Symphonics, you know, and it was captained by my cousin, Rupert Nathaniel, alias Shadow. You know, and there had other pans here, I used to just come out and play, because I think it's a gift from the Lord Almighty, you know. That's something I like doing. I like it, I like the music, and I just wanted, you know, to be best in whatever I could do, and this is what I could do. Here I am today, you know, being a arranger, composer, and a player.
We've heard stories of people mixing up 2 double second or mixing up 4 pan in a bass, and yet Boogsie could still play it. How true is that?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, I like challenge, right, Alvin? And but the guys that I'm around in the band, you know, they like the things I do, and they ask questions. So, Sharpe, if let's say you mix up a second pan, hang it up wrong side, could you play it as well? Hang it up, let's see, you know. And I do it, you know. And this is a challenge I like for myself, because, you know, there's young players coming up there, so I always like to keep, you know, about 2 lengths ahead of them, you know. So I like challenges, I say. I could mix up a bass, any bass. I could play any pan that I never see before. You know, you could play a pan I never see before, I could play it for you in 5-10 minutes.
Let's talk about the early days of your playing with the band Starlift and what led to your leaving the band Starlift?
All right. Starlift was a band I love. I still do love them because I find it a good band, a great band. I learned a lot by being in Starlift. But the thing is, Ray Holman was the arranger, right? And he was the resident arranger. I was just a player in the band. But I could also arrange too. And like, I didn't want two arrangers in the band, you know, which would have caused a conflict and, you know, because it's feelings you're dealing with, people feelings, you know. And me and some other guys from Starlift, we get together and say, we'll open our own band. And that's how Phase 2 come out.
Well, that would have been in the year 72. And I remember the first two occasions that Phase 2 went to Panorama. It used to be on a little trailer, very much like the how the bands play today, right? When they came across this event, it was this small trailer with these players. And I remember the first two tunes you played, Mass in May and Last Lap. And these were conventional calypsos. Talk about those 2 early years of Phase 2.
All right. Mass in May was the first one we did, right? I mean, our intention wasn't for being a Panama Steel band. It so happened that we had other guys who was our friends and things who wanted to be involved. So rather than we just keep our small unit of 6 guys, we ended up developing into a conventional steel band. And I heard Mass in May, you know, it was something different. It was new music to hear, you know. Because I like trying different ideas and things, you know. And that time we ran out, you know. We didn't make, but we still continue trying, you know. It just made us stronger and stronger. The next year was, I think, the Last Lap by Miss Mary. You did
Last Lap by Nap Hepburn.
Oh, right. Last Lap, that my song.
You composed that?
Yes. Oh. I composed Last Lap and Nap Hepburn's song.
Oh.
You know?
So that was the first time that you used your own tune.
Yeah. We went in Last Lap when we were small, and people say, hey, well, go with that thing, boy. You know? People used to make joke of us, make fun of us, because we come out on this little float thing, you know? As I say, we were a small band, you know, and then we started to get help coming up down the line. And we continue doing our own composition. As a matter of fact, we write some of my songs in the earlies, which a lot of people, they know that you know, we worked together from before, you know.
Well, I remember we started with Rocket with Pan, but I think the first tune that we made an impact was Rags to Riches in 1975, and I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, that's what, you know, we started playing the same type of music we was playing, you know, a lot of jazz stuff, right? And it's something that I try to get across to the people, but it still couldn't understand what we are doing, you know. I like, we get a lot of brain on fire, but that just only make us stronger again, because they want to know, look, what you're playing jazz, but it was a little more simplified, in which we had some people heard something and say, hey man, like this band doing something interested, you know, and we made the semi-final that year.
Yes, in fact, what I remember well is that you came 13th and was, you know, just one spot from getting into the final. That must have hurt.
It hurt, but you know, as I say again, this only make you stronger again. And we went back the following year with Rocket with Pan, right? And then,
in fact, you had an LP that year.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And this guy sing, what's his name? Jackie Wonder, right? Right, he sang the song. Who did? You do the lyrics, right?
Yes, I did.
Right, Jackie Wonder, yeah, I remember that, yeah. And we had a good impact with that too. We make semi-finals again. And we got knocked out. And the following, you know, I think we make final from there on.
I like to beat Pan, your first North Zone title.
Yes, right, yeah. You know, that was great. That was a good feeling too. And all that time, so I kind of mellowed down the music, you know. It wasn't too extended.
You're coming down the 70s. Carnival is bacchanal. 79 is mine. In fact, that year, you look like you would have had it.
Well, 79, you know, I think we when the players or something like that, either come first or come second.
Second.
Second, yeah, right? That was a fighting year for us. We had instrument, everything, to go fight these guys on them. Because, you know, Panama is a war, eh? It's a musical war, you know? Me and the other arrangers as friends, but it's a war, right? And we had the equipment, everything, and we had the whole organization was moving towards that. But it so happened that yes, under some kind of funniness that they call off the Panama or something like that.
Yes, there was a little controversy and there was no panorama. In fact, that was your selection for the following year, which for some reason the band seemed to have been dissed. And, you know, like they were sending you a message.
I don't know. I don't know who tell you going to say, make your name no Panama. We get called bloops, one shot. And that year, I had arranged for Joel 22. I had about 4 bands that year.
What was the tune Joel 22 played?
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Wanted Dead or Alive. Good arrangement.
And they come fourth in the finals, man.
Yeah.
A lot of bands ask my service, right? I like, it's my name at stake, right? And don't mind getting paid. I would like one day that all my bands in the final fighting for first, second, and third. I just always put my best foot forward in any work I do. And the thing is, your players have a lot to do with it. The players, your instrument, everybody play a part. And this is what people don't understand. If you don't have good players to take the music then, you understand? You will have to then water down your music to accommodate what the guys could take.
Yeah.
You know? With my guys in face, I can come in one night and change a tune. Like this year. 4 days we take to do a tune from semi-final and come win the semi-final. Yeah. You know? So these players important. If you have good players, you can't do that. You know?
I noticed there was a tune this year called Pan in a Rage, yet in 1981, you had a tune called Pan in a Rage. Tell me about that composition.
Well, that's a coincidence. Pan in a Rage was just what it said, Pan in a Rage. And, you know, I can't remember what we coming at, but we had a good year that year.
You made finals. I think you ran about 5th that year.
Yeah, 5th or 4th or something like that, you know? And like, to see them come back, the same title come back again this year. It's a good feeling, you know, because, you know.
It was a good title.
Yeah, but I think the first had a good tune this year.
in 1984, I saw a change in the public attitude. You know, there were complaints about its own tune. Yet the tune iMusic, there seemed to have been a certain amount of respect and a willingness to listen to what you had to say in your music. Talk about 1984 and iMusic.
Well, you see, we had a lot of problem in the sense that the tunes on them weren't properly recorded. I think that was a big thing about the own tune thing. So they're saying we come with our own tune and people don't know the tune. So I ain't give them wrong for saying, man, we don't like our own tune thing, you know? But I think that year with iMusic, it was recorded. I was recorded early and recorded properly.
Right.
And we had a fella by the name of Phillip Caesar.
Yeah. Very good singer.
Yes, man, he sang that song and he put it over. He put it over right.
All right. Many years I have been with you, jamming in the sun, rain and dew. Still you ain't give me the recognition that I deserve as a musician. Jube, you jumping, you prancing down. I say, remember this vibe come from my music in blue. Inviting you to roll your bongo. Love and marriage go hand in hand. The same with Calypso and Pan. I've been romancing you a long, long time. Musically with rhythm and rhyme. Jube, you jumping, you prancing down. I say, remember this vibe come from my music in blue. Inviting you to roll your bongo. Hey!
My music. So you say that iMusic then, you know?
Yeah.
But that was the turning point. I know what happened. We did well too that year.
Yeah.
And the final night, I don't know what went into me, I come slow, you know? But these things do happen, man. And like, those things wouldn't stop me then. I'm a fighter, Alvin, you know? I fight for whatever it is. I want to go fight for it. Then I'll come back the next year.
Musical wine.
Musical wine.
Same singer.
Same singer again.
This movement you see, that's coming from me. It's good for your soul, stimulates your whole body and your mind. So now my invitation, come join the action. This musical wine gets better with time. Just for love and fun, you can carry on with musical wine anytime.
People know the piece. Unfortunately, that we're not coming about last in our final.
In 12 years.
You know? But, you know, I don't know whatever position the judges put us, I didn't have nothing to say about the judges teach me or not. I not in that stupidness, right? They were the final, we put them there to judge us. And they say, so I go with it, I come again next year. It's just making me stronger because someday I go get win all the time.
After placing 12th in 1985, 1986 must have been a special year for you. Talk about 1986 and Pan Rising.
Pan Rising. That was when the Pan rise from the gutter to the house of everybody, in the hearts of all the people in the Pan world. Because that Pan Rising piece, Alvin, that's one of my best pieces, And to see how the public take to it, the appreciation, the show about its piece, and also the support for the own composition, that was overwhelming, man. And as we come and lost by 1 point, that one hurt,
Yeah, 292 points. Everybody had assumed you had won at that point. 292 to 300, you can't get much better than that. And then 293, 1 point difference.
Yeah, well, I don't know where that 1 point come from, but as I say, the judge's decision is final. It was hurt, but then I said, look, come again next year. What could they do? That was the first time I got Denise to sing. She just sang at Shakonia and she just performed there. And I was called there to perform too on weekends and I hear Denise Plummer singing. Right? And Denise singing everybody calypsos. I said, oh, wait, this girl can sing by, you know what I mean? Because you know how some calypso they just singing their calypso alone and that's it. But she's singing Sparrow calypso, Kitchener's calypso, Francine calypso, this one calypso, the other one calypso. I said, well, this girl great. You can't get nothing better than that. So I said, what? And when I approached, I said, Denise, I really like, what about singing my song? She said, yeah, she took up the offer. I said, yeah. I think you could do a good job. I had faith in you. I know something, that year when I was recording that tune, she had just finished Make a Baby, I think. And that woman come in the studio. I think she make a baby about a week before we went in the studio and sing a Taylor of Alvin. Let me tell you something. That woman, you know, Denise is a great person, man. You know, I really appreciate, you know, the effort she put into it. Anything she doing, she really put out. She really puts out. She work hard. She's a hard worker. Don't mind she get some problems I think with the people, like in South, you know, they don't understand. You know, some people saying that a white woman sing calypso, but the girl is a Trinidadian. She's a born Trinidadian. We don't say about white and black in music. They don't have that. Music have no color or no race. You know? But I guess well, look, over the years gone by, you know, people now accept her, they love her now, you know what I mean? Because she's a performer. Denise is not just a calypso singer. She's not a calypso singer. She's an artist. She's a performer. And she's bad, man. Yeah. She's bad. She did well this year. I mean, sorry enough that she didn't make the finals. But next year again, you know, this combination, you know, is a winning combination. Three of us.
Oh, definitely.
I live, you know, don't worry. Three of us, you know. Yeah, because you know, the song I appreciate by different too. Those lyrics, something you put Alvin is great.
Yeah, well, one of the things I want to point out too with this Feeling Nice is that it was your first Panorama victory and it was the first victory of anybody with an own tune. How was the feeling?
Hey, but I can tell you that feeling. That feeling was so great. It was so great because, you know, to win a Panorama is a great thing, eh? You know, anybody would love to win a Panorama. Everybody cannot win though. But, you know, those who win, you know, happy for them. And it was a great feeling, especially my players, I feel good for them, you know, because those are the guys, not only me, those players, they who work hard for that victory. right? The tuners, right? The supporters who was there giving us that, pushing us then, telling you have to do this one, you know? Giving us that inspiration to go work harder because success is hard work, as you would know, man. And to come and by, you know how Steve and is, everybody have a different way of thinking. Everybody don't think the same, so you gotta get those guys together and they move as one with one head, push one head towards that thing, you know? And man, it's the best feeling I had in my life.
Woman is boss. I mean, that'll be magical.
Yeah. Well, look, come again, you know. We try hard again, and as I showed the guys and them, we gotta go next year, we gotta work harder. Because don't forget, to stay at the top, it's hard to stay at the top. You know, it's easy to stay at the bottom, it's hard to stay at the top. I gotta work hard to put all your blood and sweat into this because you have those other bands like All Stars, Desperados, Renegades, them coming like Sharpe behind you. And to fight them off is not easy. The way to take it off, you put your best foot forward, you work hard, put your best foot forward, and pray for the best thing.
Now we woman, I'm chasing boss, with tough remorse, woman is boss. When it comes to caring, sharing and achieving, woman is boss.
First, you come like a learning center also, yeah? Or by a learning center. For pan, what I noticed, a lot of guys who come and play with our band, the branch off into good little players, soloists and stuff.
Yeah.
And because the way I teach them the music and the things I do, you know, and I talk to them about it. Not just show them something and leave it at that, you know. We talk about it and fellas ask questions, you know. And the more we do different things, the more a guy will learn, the better a person will come playing his instrument. Because how I teach also, it also help them to learn their instrument also. You know, I might call notes for them. I like a guy to know, a guy must know all the notes on his instrument. That is important. All right? And then I have a kind of way I just do it like, when I call the notes now everybody can't get it at the same time, but I call for them and say, everybody want to pick it up quick. You know? And it just catches quick. No, everybody can't get it at the same time. But it's a challenge for them. They like challenge. And, right. Yeah, I get bass. But is your fast I get that? You know, I do this, I do that. You know? They like that. So you gotta get in there, you know. And I say, working with players, you gotta be able to, you know, they have to be respectful, but you have to be able to deal with them as a family. You know, not just, I do deal with them, my players, arranger, the pan player. I deal with them as a family on the same level in a sense, but I get my respect still. Because we are deal with them, so you get all out of them. Because what's that? You can't pay Steve man to play. Okay. We don't make no money. Panama don't have enough money to pay a man for coming who taking money out of his pocket to take a bus or a taxi to come down to the pockets every night. When he go back home, his girlfriend or his wife vex because he ain't spending no time with she, all that kind of thing. So you know how much thing you see what he going through? So then he come to the party to learn the tune. So he must get a little love somewhere. So I just show them that love. So I will get all out of them. You know, I'm really thankful for them what they be doing because the people who making money, the arrangers making money, tuners making money, and the parliament don't make the money. I hope someday, just as I see that thing with the 4 brand new 100,000, first prize in parliament should $500,000. Or more. You know, in order that a parliament can get something because he putting out too. Everybody else making money over carnival and Steve don't make no money. Steve men don't make no money. Why? We spend carnival.
Talking about your arrangement and developmental work too, a tune like Nanny Wine, which you didn't do for phase 2, taking those 3 notes, bending it in all directions. How did you approach the arranging of that tune?
Well, it's a simple tune as you know, is about 4 chords in the tune, right? But it's how you approach it, you know. We try to do different things then to build something out of it. Come like you have a house to build. I just had the sand, just get sand alone to deal with it. So you gotta build a mud house. But I find a way to build that and make it stand up strong. I know I dig into all different ideas, I try all different things with the guys. And those guys in potential, they work with me. Those are nice, you know, that's one of the best men I work with too.
1989, going for that elusive hat trick, fired down below and Professor on your heels.
Professor, yeah, he did a good job with this one, you know. But I fight for that one, man. I went all out to you know, I try to come in such a way to be simple and effective, you know. Because simple, you can't be simplicity in music at all. The more simple and effective, it's better so you get to the littlest try to understand what you're doing. Rather than put all those intricate things and mess it up. I really fight hard for the performance. You know, I don't know how we win, but you know, as I say, you know, maybe the best band win.
Len Boogsie, Sharpe, the panis. What's your favorite instrument? I've seen you play tenor, double second, quads. What's your favorite?
What's my favorite instrument is the double second. You know, I like the range of the second pan, double second, you know. But I can play one of my master all the drums. I can play any pan from any band, any style you're gonna play it. Because I, as I said from when I was growing up, I want to be a professional. I want to be best in what I do in them.
In fact, I remember once at Spectacular Forum, you did a shootout, and you had down to cellos on stage.
Yeah, look, I do a lot of things with pan. I don't know if a lot of people might know about that, but people who was at those show, like I had a 4-pan, I had a double guitar, a second pan, and a tenor, right? And I play one song and use all the pan in one song. I just spinning around, going around in a circle. I them set up like in a circle, and I going around and playing a couple notes and doing the song. Right now, I just moving, no stopping.
Let's come to 1996 and talk about missing 2 years of Panorama and what it has done to you as a musician and as a person wanting your music to be heard.
You know, that was the worst thing could have happened to me. But then it was a good thing in the sense, you know, because, you know, I had a problem, you know, and I know working on that problem, you know, I know getting over it and thing, you know. But it hurt to miss 2 carnivals, man, you know, 2 Panorama, knowing I have this music here in my head, you know. So when I come back here, you know, like a man who was locked up in jail, I just let him loose, he just go on wild, you know, like you have a foul in a club, right? And you folk get out, and you just open the door, you see a folk running over there, you of course you don't get bunks and all. You know? But it feels good to be back home, you know, I come home, like to see my mom and, you know, like, you know, my mom's sick and I come like being therapy for her because when she saw me, she feels so good, she started to feel better and better. And it's also good therapy for me too. You know, because I had to deal with my problem, you know, which I know I'm not going back that road again. You know, life now is too sweet and, you know, it feels good. And what I'd be thankful for is that the public, you know, the way they accept me, you know what I mean? You know, they give me that encouragement to fight this sickness I have. And I really appreciate the support they give me, man. You know, I haven't get one bad advice from one person then. You know, everybody say, look, Boogsie, we're glad to see you and we hope everything go good. Keep on the right track. You're doing the right thing. And that's it, that feels good. So it gave me that energy, you know, to stay strong and do the right thing. And I go be an example for the rest of guys who have the same sickness like me, you know? And it's great to be back home, Alvin, and to come and do some music, man.